Welcome to the Run It Back podcast, aka The Rib, with your hosts, Cha-Cha,
Turn my mic up, son. You know he's always in the building. Yeah.
D-Lo,
Yo, what's up?
Javi,
Hello. What's up, world?
and Omega Green.
Yeah, it's green.
Get ready as we carve through the meat of life's juiciest stories. Let's get it cooking.
Ooh, what's up, world? And welcome to a special episode of Run It Back. I'm your boy, Javi, and you already heard the intro, but that was Omega.
Welcome back.
Hey.
That was Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
And that was, I was about to say Omega. That was D-Lo.
Yeah.
All right, so this special episode is all about Halloween. This is airing on Halloween, so what better way to celebrate Halloween than tell some spooky or scary stories? So, I will start off, and my story will be about my cousin. He had told me a story about when he was in college, and he's a party guy. Like, he still is. He doesn't do it as much, but he's a partier, and so he was rushing different frats. He was a freshman. It was like rush week, so he was like rushing all these frats.
Right.
He didn't really know anybody because I think he said he was only one of like 3 people that he knew that went to that college because he didn't go local. He went to a college in Utah, like a community college in Utah.
Yeah.
So he said that on this particular like rush like night, he had went to two different fraternities. It was like a Kappa house and like an Alpha house. It was like 2 different frats. You know, they all start with Kappa Alpha, you know, Kappa Alpha Kappa, you know,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. And I hope they don't get offended by me using their names, but it is what it is. But he said on this particular night, he went to the Alpha house first and said that when he got in there, he knew that like that's the house he was supposed to be with, like the fraternity he was supposed to be with. He was like, there was girls everywhere, they were partying. When he first walked in, like a girl handed him a drink and started to make out with him. He was like, it was just like his scene, like it's what he thought he was gonna get when he walked into a frat house. But said like he stayed there for about 30 minutes and he didn't want to take up too much time because he had another house to go see. He only had mapped out 2 houses that he wanted because like those are the only 2 he was interested in. So he went to the Kappa house after about 30 minutes of being there. He said being there, he was partying. He said they had a slide in the backyard, and this is at the Alpha house. He was like, they had a slide in the backyard that led to like a pool. He was like, it was weird because it was an older and a younger crowd. He was like, the older crowd was like people that had graduated from college the year before and was like members of the frat.
Yeah.
Or the girls that had graduated before that were like people that were like real like known in the frat. He said, and then it was like the crowd that like were initially there for college that were frat. He was like, it was no like outsiders. If you wasn't in a frat or you wasn't in a sorority, you wasn't at that party. He said he had a great time. They was just, the drinks was flowing, they were free. He said he played beer pong like 4 times. He did like belly shots off of a girl like twice. Right. He said he made out with endless girls. He couldn't count how many times he made out with girls. He's like, I don't know if it was I don't know what they're called. Like the head of the frat, like the frat guy, the head person, like the frat brother, like everybody looks up to and everybody listens to.
Yeah, they're basically the president.
Yeah, he was like if it was either him or the vice president, like the person right under him, like he was chilling with them all night, so he like felt like he was gonna probably get a bid into that one. He said, but when he went over to the Kappa house was completely different. He said it was quiet, but it was like it was still a party going on. He was like, it was so weird. Everybody had headphones on. He was like, the strobe lights was going, everybody was drinking, girls was twerking on dudes. It wasn't no make out sessions or anything like that. He's like, but everybody had headphones on. Like I walked in and it was silent. I knocked on the door, nobody answered the door just kind of opened. He was like, so I went in and I got me a drink, and he tries to like intertwine with the crowd and tries to like mingle with people, but he can't say nothing to them. Everybody got headphones on, everybody's just dancing. He was like, so the music was all right that they were bopping to. He said he got his little vibe because he was already feeling tipsy from the last party.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, he's like, he was already feeling good from the last party. He was like, and then somebody came out and had like a mask on, but they had like shot glasses on trays and they were just like walking around with them. He said the mask was like, came up to like came down to the top of their, like the bottom of their nose, the top of their lip, but you could see the mouth. And like said the person had like lipstick on, but it was kind of like the Joker lipstick. And said that the mask at the top had like a black like outlining, but like the cheekbones, the eyes, like it all, like it had holes to where you could see the eyes. He was like, the dude had to have contacts in. He said the outfit was like so tight and so like reflective that he couldn't really look at the dude. He had to squint when he looked at him because of the like the strobe lights going on and stuff. He was like, but he came up to me and I took the shot. He was like, so we all just like kind of vibing to the music. I then sat over to the side on one of the couches. There's a girl that's kind of sitting down next to me. We kind of looking at each other, vibing. She's lipping something, but I can't really hear it, so I kind of pulled back. He pulled back one of his like earbud, like headphones. And she did, and they just kind of started talking and chit-chatting about like what was going on. Yeah. Like it was like a silent party, and the frat was trying to be respectful of something that was going on behind them, like because the frat was like lined up to like a church or something,
gotcha.
And they were trying to be quiet.
Like a noise ordinance.
Yeah, he was like, so this like that's the best thing they could do. He was like, they all still like having a good time, but they had to be quiet, so that was the next best thing. He was like, so then he kind of understood what was going on.
Headphone party.
Yeah. He was like, at this time, it was kind of late. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock. Not late, but for a school night, for this to be a rush. Right. And it was on a Wednesday.
Getting late.
He was like, it's getting kind of late. Like, he was like, I was still having a good time. He said the drink done kicked in. He was like, the shot hadn't kicked in yet. He was like, but I wanted to go back to the other house where it was live. He was like, he was like, I was getting back. He was like, he was just having the better time there. He was like, he wasn't taking nothing away from the party that he was at because they were being respectful. He honored that, but he'd rather be at that other party.
Yeah.
He was like, there's more to the week. I can come back and rush with them another night when that ain't happening. He said, so when he left the party, he felt fine. When he left Kappa House, he felt fine. He said he started walking back down like fraternity row. He said he passed like 2 or 3 of the other fraternities that weren't really doing anything because they were like fraternities for like science people and stuff like that. He said, and then he got past the house for like the swimming, like the sports people. He said, and that shot kicked in on him. He said he don't know what he took. He said, but like it looked like all the streetlights just started melting in front of him.
Oh, boy.
He said he knew where he was. He was like, but everything just seemed to be melting. He was like, I didn't smoke anything. I didn't do any drugs. He's like, it was just that shot. He was like, I was already feeling good off that liquor from the first bite. He was like, but that shot did something to me. He was like, I kind of figured out how to get back to the door. He said, I got back to the door. I got in there. It was still lit, active. The same girl that was at the door greeted me at the door, made out with me again. He was like, I got back in there. He was like, but I couldn't really see anything. It was just like if he had, his eyeballs were sweating. And it looked like he had water running down his eyeballs and it was distracting him from seeing what was going on.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like, it ain't amazing. That would be terrifying.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of eyeball sweating. That's why I said that, America.
Yeah, he said that's what it like. That's what it looked like when he's looking out.
That's what I experience every time I mow the grass.
He was like, so. Yeah, he said he stumbled and he doesn't know who helped him, but somebody helped him to a couch and he sat down. He said he just sat there. And the way he described him sitting there is like, when he described it to me, all I could think of is the man in Get Out, the black guy sitting there while the lady's stirring the tea. He said he was sitting there trying to focus. He was like, he could blink, but he did not want to move until he could see what was going on in front of him. He said, so it kind of eased up a little bit after about 15 minutes of him sitting there. Of course, he was still drinking. He was still having his drink that he had got when he walked in. The girl kissed him and gave him a drink. He said he was sitting there. He said it started to clear up a little bit, but it wasn't clearing up the way he needed it to clear up. He was like, everybody was kind of blurry. He was like, I could make out faces, but the faces looked like almost like clown faces. He was like, the faces were so distorted that I almost looked like he felt like he was like dreaming it. Because you know how like in a dream, like you can never tell a person's face. Like you can't wake up in the dream and be like, that person was in my dream. I know exactly who it was.
Yeah.
You always have that. Oh, it
Sound like
kind of looked like
Scarecrow,
that
don't it?
person,
Yeah.
but I couldn't really tell. He was like, everybody's faces look like that. He said, so when that happened, he just started yelling because he knew one of the guy that he was hanging out with. He just started yelling his name, Chase, Chase, Chase. He was like yelling for Chase. He was like, and then some guy came up to him and was like, hey, Chase is like wherever Chase was, but what's up? He was like, I can't see, like everybody's face is distorted. He was like, the guy told him like, well, come with me, I can help you. He was like, so he went with the boy, and the boy took him outside, like outside in the front. He was like, cause he stopped hearing the music so loud, he like couldn't really hear like the crowd in the distance. And he was like, the boy was leading by the arm. He was like, he had my hand, but he also had like my elbow, and he was like assisting me, like almost like I was a elderly man. He was like, so we got out there, he guided me down the steps, like you got a step in front of you, take a step, you got another step in front of you, take a step. He was like, and then like he like led me to like almost to where like I didn't feel anything around me. You know how like you standing in front of like a house or a car, you can feel that around you.
Right.
Like even if your eyes are closed, you can still feel like, okay, there's something right here, there's something right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He said, I didn't feel anything around me. He's like, but I know that when I first went into the house, there was like bushes. There were like a couch on the porch, on the porch. He was like, there was stuff all in the yard. He said, but I couldn't feel anything around me. He was like, and then I was like, so what's your name? He said, my name is Jonah. He said, Jonah. He was like, I don't remember Jonah. He was like, yeah. He was like, but I know you. He was like, how do you know me? He was like, we went to school together, high school together. He's like, oh, bet. He was like, what year did you graduate? And the boy said he graduated in 98. My cousin's younger than me. So to be in high school and graduate at 98, like that wasn't my cousin.
Yeah, you don't know about that.
So my cousin was like, oh, bet. He was like, who was your favorite teacher? Because his dad, my cousin's dad went to the school, so he could have possibly graduated. My cousin still didn't know. So the dude said a name, and my cousin was like, that name didn't register to me. He's like, the dude, like I didn't feel uncomfortable. He was like, but I was kind of weirded out that the dude said he knew me. He went to high school with me, but he graduated in 98. He was like, so tell me a teacher that we would have in common. Like, how do you know me? He was like, the guy got quiet. He's like, and then he felt the guy let him go. He's like, now he don't feel like there's anybody around him. He said he's like standing there. He knows he got walked out of the house. He went down the same amount of steps he went up. He heard the music fade, and he's like, he's just standing there, and all he can see is black, because like he still doesn't have his full vision, but he's not in the house anymore. He's outside. He's like, it's like 11 o'clock now. Like I'm not like, there's no lights. I know there's street lights. Like it's pitch black. He's like, I just started rubbing my eyes. He said, I rubbing my eyes and I kneeled down. Like he's like, I got low in the ball and I'm just like rubbing my eyes and like, oh my God, just let me see. He's like, just let me see. I just need to see where I am because I don't feel comfortable anymore. Yeah. He's yelling. He's like, Chase, Jonah. He's like, he just hears his stuff start to like echo louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. He said that when he finally stopped wiping his eyes and opened his eyes, he was sitting in the middle of the back of this like big field that was like so far away from where he was. He said he only took 4 steps. Yeah. He said he took the 4 steps down off the steps. No, he said he took the 3 steps down off the steps, and then he may have took like 1 or 2 more steps, but he doesn't remember like walking through this field. Yeah. He said when he like realized where he was and turned around and seen where like the party was and where the other house was, he was like, he didn't even recognize where he was because like there was not that much space in the entire like campus to have like that much field. Yeah. He said, so I just started yelling and running. He said he ran so fast and was trying to get so close to that house that he could not see that like see the house getting closer to him. He was like he was running, but it was like the house stayed at the same distance away from him. He said that he got so tired from running. He said he felt like he was running for like 30 minutes to try to get back to that house, and he couldn't. He was yelling chase. He was yelling for the Jonah guy that had led him outside, and he could not get back. He said that when he finally like got tired and like went down and was like panting and trying to breathe, he said he picked his head up and turned around, and that boy Jonah was standing in his face, and he could see him clear as day. And guess who it was?
Ooh.
I don't know because the story was fake.
Boy, you had me.
See what they do. See what he does to you. No.
I thought it was gonna be
Happy
Jesus.
Halloween.
No. Okay.
Got
All right.
him. That was awesome.
Got him.
Got him.
How good was that story?
Yeah,
was
it
y'all
was
ready to hear what the ending
Yes.
Yeah, I was waiting for the ending.
You heard me say who? I was like,
was? You got to come back next Halloween to get the finish.
See, that's some bullshit right there. That's
'cause
some bullshit.
I'm thinking that it was somebody that you know messed with him in the past, that he had
Yeah.
that he had conflict with,
Yeah.
that was trying to get even with him. That's how the movie always goes,
Yeah.
right? So you don't recognize them until they reveal who they were. Oh, so
Are
you don't
y'all mad
remember
at me?
me?
Bitch.
Audience, are y'all mad at me for having a fake story that had no ending?
That shit
I
was
hate.
good.
I hate that.
I
I hate
hate
that.
it.
It's like
You make up your own ending. How
it's
about
like
that?
I liked
it's
it.
like my wife. She watched these movies, right? And I don't get me wrong, I love B-rated films. I love them to death, especially horror B-rated films.
Uh-huh.
But she be watching these ones and like it don't have any ending. I'm like, I've got to have a conclusion to this. Like, what is going on?
I
Like,
need my closure.
it just ends, and I'm just looking at her like, really?
You gotta assume.
Like,
you
you
gotta
just-
create your own ending.
Create your own ending to that. What did you want?
That was good,
him to
Javi.
turn
That was
around?
good.
That was good. That was good.
Who was you expecting him to see when he turned around?
All right. So when we come back
Create
from the,
your own monster.
when we come back from the, break,
Female.
who's
I got
going?
one for
She
you.
was on them
Okay,
too
so-
easy. It was like, this is a setup. That's
was
all I was
making out.
thinking. That's
What's
old
going
school
on?
shit. This is a setup.
What
I'm
was
gonna
that shot?
I'm gonna say mine for last because mine is actually personal.
Okay.
And, real. So it's real life experience. So when we get back from the break, we'll dip into Omega's ghost story. So
Yeah.
I do have one. I have one from
Oh, you got one?
elementary
Oh,
school.
okay.
Okay, we're
Elementary
gonna have one
school.
from all four of us. So
Elementary
Yeah.
school.
we will be back in just a second. Happy Halloween.
What up, y'all? Omega Green here for a special Halloween episode of the Run It Back podcast. Now, we just heard Javi's ghost story. We are telling spooky stories this evening, and I have
y'all
one
still
for
mad?
you.
a little
I'm
bit.
intrigued.
Little
I
bit.
was
think that was pretty
A
intrigued.
little
lit.
bit.
That was
I
dope.
need
It
a
was-
conclusion.
It was dope. I liked it. It was dope.
Next season.
But what I'm gonna break y'all off with is, all right. I'm not gonna be like this is full fiction because it's not, but I'm also not going to be like this is nonfiction because this is through the grapevine. I would say urban legend type shit, but this isn't like my cousin, sister's nephew. But like I knew somebody, and they told me this story.
Okay.
Good one.
When I was younger, you lose people over the years.
Mhm.
Facts.
The person who told this to me
R.I.P.
was an acquaintance of mine, and he and another friend of mine had a disagreement which turned sour, and both of them lost their lives.
Mm.
But they're both cool to hang out with, and when I was kicking it with this dude before, like he kind of basically told me some shit that happened to him, and I was like, all right, well, again, cool dude, known bullshitter, could have been complete bullshit, but at the same time, I'm like, he brought like somebody else into it, which was more unusual because then there's another person that I could legitimately ask, be like, hey, did this happen? I didn't
Yeah.
pursue it because like it didn't matter, but here's the deal. So this all takes place in Lexington, Kentucky,
Mm.
in Cardinal Valley,
Ooh.
which for those of you who aren't from around here or aren't aware, Cardinal Valley is a lower class neighborhood that is built atop a bunch of mines. So when I was younger, I would go down to Cardinal Valley on the weekends to hang out with a bunch of my buddies, and we would, have sleepovers and do stuff like that. And there was a sleepover that I had with him before, and I got to go over and see his house and everything. It was an old house, probably had to have been built in like the 1950s ish era. So it was kind of big, had lower floor, second floor, and then like an attic / like eventually he turned it into his room.
Okay.
But initially his room started off on the first floor.
Right.
Okay.
And there was a girl that we had gone to school with that we'd both like known and everything, and at different points in time, like he had been dating her. So we were talking about paranormal stuff before, and he had mentioned about something happening to him, and he was basically like, well, there's all kinds of creepy shit that happens in my house and blah blah blah. So people be saying that shit, so I'm like, all right, bro, lay something on me. So he was like, all right, well, there was a time before where him and his lady, I don't know if they'd been having a back and forth or what the deal was, but my understanding was like she was over there, and I guess it come to get something she had left there at some point in time. And so he was like, all right, well, come on in, have a look around and kind of see if you can find it or whatever. So he was doing his thing, I don't know what, something in his room, and she was kind of browsing through stuff, couldn't find what she was looking for. So it eventually got to a point to where she was like, all right, well, maybe it's in your closet, like you haven't hidden it or anything. And he was like, nah, it's like, feel free, go ahead and look. So she went and started rummaging through a bunch of his shit. He was like, I stepped out for something, I don't know what. And he was like, so I'm chilling on the front porch, I guess, like having a cigarette or something. And he was like, and then all of a sudden I just hear like this fucking gut wrenching scream, So he's like, I ran back in, and she's like laying on the floor, not like in a fetal position, but kind of like folded knees type shit, and just like ridiculously upset. And he was like, he came in like, what's wrong or whatever. She was like, I don't fucking know. Like something grabbed me, like something fucking grabbed me. And he was like, I thought, she was just kind of putting on, like trying to fuck with me and shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
And he didn't take it too seriously at first, but he was like, but when I saw the look in her face, he was like, it was hard to dismiss it. But then she kind of like flipped her arm outward, and he was like, there's these long claw marks that were going like from pretty much right under the outside of her shoulder all the way down to like the end of her wrist.
Damn.
And he was like, initially I thought, well, what, like maybe you fell on something, or kind of scraped up against something, like there's maybe hangers, like a jacket hanger or something like that.
Right.
But he was like, the pattern was legit like a hand, like thumb, 4 fingers, just all the way down. He's like, it basically looked like Freddy Krueger tried to like reach out and get this bitch.
No.
Oh wow.
So I was like,
In his closet?
in his closet, and I was just kind of like, okay, so again, like I hadn't thought much about it because once again, like dude was a known bullshitter and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when he told me about it, and like I said, the fact that he pulled somebody else into it, could have been not true, but at the same time, I've heard of like weirder shit happening,
Yeah.
and after everything was all said and done, and loss of life and whatnot, years passed by, and the house that this all supposedly took place in has been now demolished, so it's just like an open spot.
Mm-hmm.
Just a stoop and then nothing.
Mm.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so that is one of the long lasting things in my mind, because like if I ever happen to go down Versailles Road through Cardinal Valley and like just kind of like hit that, like whenever I go to pass by or whatever, like I'll have a look and I'll catch a glimpse of that stoop and then just like that nothingness there. That's where I was like, man, that's just some crazy shit.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Could have been just to get
now
to
you
go.
make me nervous about opening my closet, pulling shit out. I get too close to it. Now I'm gonna be looking.
He gonna be
down
checking.
the
He
whole
gonna be
time.
checking at night. Like
Pull it down,
he could be
look
looking underneath
inside
the
it.
bed, in the closet.
Facts. 'Cause as soon as she said the closet, something reached out. I'm like, oh my god, under my bed got a lot of
Tell Nate he
space.
can get you.
You got a line of space underneath that motherfucker.
Submitted for the approval
Let me
of
go
the
ahead
Run
and-
It Back podcast.
Yes, let me go
Call
ahead and
this one
shove a whole bunch of shit
Gripped
under
by
my.
darkness.
Man,
Darknesses.
Oh Lord.
man, that's wild.
Ooh.
That's all right.
Mm.
That's
No, thank you. I don't need
crazy.
closets no more. I'm just gonna hang everything up.
Yeah,
on the
especially
wall.
especially when you see like silhouettes of something. Oh, what was that?
No, because I
oh,
see
yeah.
like shadows all the time, or like little
Exactly.
like blobs or orbs. all the time.
Yeah,
I know I do.
and that's actually gonna run into my story.
Oh, when we come
Um,
back.
Not when we come back. I'm gonna save my story for last
Yeah.
because my story.
Mine is pretty good.
Yeah,
I think you all are like
Okay.
mine.
Okay.
It's a real. It's really happened.
I'm gonna save mine for
It's
last
really
because
happened.
it's actually personal and it kind of combines things. So we're gonna. So when we get back, we'll get into the Cha-Cha story.
Yeah.
So when we get back, here we go.
All right. Welcome back to another special Halloween episode. We're all sharing scary stories, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. So my story, this actually happened. This actually happened to me. So imagine everybody and listeners being in the 3rd or 4th grade. So monsters, werewolves, witches, it's all going to be real to you.
It's all real.
It's going to be real to you. And so I actually was at Dixie Elementary in Eastland. So I was probably in the 3rd grade, and it was Halloween time. So they get all of the 3rd grade classes and they take us into this room. They file us all into this room. We don't know what's going on. They let us know we're going to have like a Halloween get together, whatever.
Yeah.
And we get in this big room, and they set us around. Every grade has so many number of. You have this teacher has a 4th grade class. It's like 4 3rd grade classes.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they have us sitting like a semicircle, and it's dark, and they've got strobe lights or whatever. I mean, it's dark, and there's a woman dressed up like a witch, the Wicked Witch of the West, and she's got a pot, like a big brewing pot, and she's stirring this pot, and smoke is coming out of it and everything. And it just so happens that where I was like in the front row. I was in the front row, sitting on the floor. I'm like right there. And so she's telling everybody, who am I going to cast a spell? And she's looking at all of us. Who am I going to cast a spell on? And at this point, we're mesmerized. And she's stirring this pot, and she's pointing out kids. And this water is splashing on us. And we're like, and now it's really getting real, because every child she pointed to, they ended up disappearing. They got them up out of there. They had somebody, like, she had like ghouls and goblins with her.
Oh shit.
And so now every kid that they're pointing at, they're disappearing, and they're screaming. And you can hear them screaming. You can hear them screaming. And this is going on for like a long time. So now, and I'm like, what do you do when you have this witch that's looking at everybody, and then and your eyes meet, and you're like, oh no, this is it. She's gonna choose me. And then they choose somebody else, and it's your friend. They're like, oh, thank God it's not me, but I hope my friend's okay.
Yeah.
And you hear them scream when they disappear. And this went on for maybe 20, 30 minutes. It seemed like eternity. So at this point, we're thinking, okay, they're about ready to wrap it up. But no, it gets better. They come out with a werewolf.
Damn.
A werewolf. This teacher has on a full mask, fur claws. I mean, he looked like a real werewolf, and he's coming after everybody. I mean, he's
And
just,
y'all screaming.
yes, yes, yes. And
That school was torturing y'all.
yes, and so now the witch has taken a back seat. She's like, I'm gonna let my helper choose who's gonna be the victim today.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's walking around her, and now he's pointing. And mind you, I'm sitting on the front row. So he's walking by me, and I'm scared to death. I am scared to death.
Mm.
I'm scared
he's-
for you
And so, yeah,
at this point.
yes. And so,
I know you made it alive, but
yeah, of course, I'm here to tell it, but yeah, it's a good thing I had a good heart a decent heart. I didn't have a bad heart at that time, a bad
Oh,
tickle.
yeah. Little cha-cha.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. And so he's walking around and he grabs somebody. And you're like, oh, everybody's screaming now because we know the werewolves, they eat you. They tear you from limb to limb. And they take that kid out and you hear them scream. So now I'm like, oh, God, Lord, please don't let him come back. Please don't let him go. And he comes back. He comes back. And I am scared shitless, mind you. And remember, I'm sitting on the front row. And so now, it's 4 third grade classes. So he goes around and we're in a semicircle. And he goes around and he's walking around, all right, doing the whole werewolf thing, screaming. And he chose me. He chose me. That is the scaredest I've ever been. And so when he chooses me, I
He peed
start.
his pants a little bit.
Oh, no. I'm trying to get away. You know how black folks do it. We ain't trying to stick around.
that's what I'm waiting on.
I didn't run. What I did was because he points at me and he starts coming towards me. So, and like I said, I'm down on the floor. So I start scooting backwards. And mind you, there's kids behind me. So I'm probably plowing. I'm plowing through them. I'm trying my best. Like, oh, mama, no. Mama, don't. Oh, he grabbed me. He grabbed me and picked me up and lifted me up and carries me away. And I am screaming and I am kicking and I'm scared to death. I am crying like a baby. And he takes me out the door. And you think it's over? Now I know why the kids were screaming. He looks at me face to face with this werewolf mask on and he tells me, scream. And I'm petrified. I don't have anything in me. I have nothing. I have nothing to give. And so I didn't scream, but I was scared to death. I'm crying. And he says it again, but this time he says it with the force of God. Scream! I screamed like a girl. Because he got in my face and that mask came to my face. And I thought he was going to eat me. And he says it again, scream. Oh my gosh. And I screamed. I probably passed out. I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember them bringing me back to the group. They probably had to console me and be like, don't tell your mama, But that was the scariest I think I've ever been in my entire life. In the third grade.
Damn.
They traumatized this man.
Yes. But check it out. And I think that might be why I'm a werewolf fanatic. I love werewolf movies. And at first I thought it was because
you won't want to scare you like they did back in the day.
Yeah, they don't scare me like that now. Because when I got older, like maybe in junior high or whatever, I watched The Howling, and that's what made me. So The Howling was really good.
Yeah.
But I was watching this at like 3 a.m. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of like this. But
That's one of my favorite movies.
That was one of those instances where the third grade thing was embedded in my mind somewhere, just waiting to be unleashed. And today was the day. But I'm telling you, I will never ever forget that man. And I don't know who the teacher was. I couldn't tell you which teacher it was.
Boy, to be a fly on the wall at that PTA meeting when
man.
they're
But at
planning
the same,
that shit.
but at the same time,
It could have been a student
We're
aid
gonna
or
get
something.
these motherfuckers.
but at the same time, my dad, rest in peace, he every year he usually dressed up as Dracula. And like there was one year he always bragged about it, and like none of my cousins would, like older cousins, they would ever admit to this, but he always bragged about it. There was one year when he dressed up as Dracula, they went to my great grandmother's church, did the Halloween thing, and he literally like scared the crap out of my older cousins.
Yeah. Hey, man, when you were a kid, that stuff was real, man, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna say I thought my life was over, but I thought my life was over.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this werewolf charged me, and think about it. At that age, and you're hoping that he doesn't choose you. Now, you've watched kids get taken up out of there, kidnapped in your mind, and he points directly at you.
Yeah.
He points directly. He doesn't say a word. He's looking around and says, "You." What
So
do
with
you
that
do?
being said, imagine what the very first kid felt like when he picked him up, when they picked him up and said,
Exactly. But that was just the witch. That was the witch pointing, and somebody coming, the ghoul and goblin. It wasn't like the werewolf. It wasn't the same. The werewolf was had the claws
out.
and the fangs.
ready to eat.
And and the ghouls and the goblins, they probably had their face kind of looking like Thriller a little bit, not as bad, but you still felt bad for them. You still felt bad. But that right there, I think I was probably the last kid. I think I was probably the last one. I think that's how they wrapped it up. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if I was more scared when he chose me or when he started coming towards me and picked me up.
Right.
When he picked, I don't know. I think I was probably more scared when he chose me. Because I'm like,
You didn't know what was going to
What's
happen.
gonna happen?
you
now?
know, as a child, you're like, I never get chosen for anything.
Right.
I never get
And then
picked.
the
I
one
never
thing you
win.
don't want to get chosen
Yes.
His body didn't werewolf.
The one thing
And you
that
get
you
picked
hope
last.
to God that he doesn't
Right.
choose you.
You
He-
sit there like, oh, goodbye, goodbye.
I'm
Oh,
gonna sit
shit.
real still. I'm gonna sit real still. Maybe if I sit still, he won't notice me. He looked at me.
And that's coming big from this man right here, because since I've known him, he's always been a front man. Like no matter what, you gonna see him
Yeah.
in a crowd. You gonna see him.
I'm such an introvert. I don't know. I don't know, because I never, like, I'm that guy, like, I never win. I never get chosen, but the atmosphere chooses me.
Right,
The setting
right.
chooses me. Yeah, I know where you're going
Yeah.
with that. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. And the one time I hoped that it was not me, he looked at me.
It was you.
And he pointed You. Oh my gosh. I going back over it, looking at it now, I remember the fear that I had when he chose me. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Man.
And then he had the nerve to come to me and pick me up and carry me out of the room. I couldn't have been nothing but 30 fluid ounces.
I thought you said.
I was gonna say, where was Limbaugh in this
Yeah, that's
situation?
what I'm saying. Don't tell your mama. You gonna tell me to scream? I had nothing, but when he came with that second time, it was he got all the screaming he wanted. He got it. Yeah, they probably thought I was really dead,
Right,
or
right.
eating or something, man. But anyway,
It was good.
and I'm glad that you came up with this segment, because I haven't thought about that in like years.
There you go.
You're welcome.
I had stored that. Yeah, So America, we're gonna take another break, and then we're gonna get into the finale. D-Lo said he's got something for us. You got something for us,
Oh,
man?
it's it's real life experiences that
Okay.
it's like first encounter type situations.
Oh,
Straight
no.
out of Maze.
So like
He said straight out of
We'll get
Maze,
into
man.
it when we come back.
when we get into
we'll get
definitely
into
gonna
it.
get into
Yeah.
it. So
So we'll be back, and so the hope is that you all are able to let us know, which story you like the best. But we'll talk about that more when we get back. So let's take this break, and we out.
peace. All right, everybody, welcome back from the break. We're gonna get into my story now. My story, I gotta tell a little bit about the history of my town, because it does make Maysville one of the most haunted places of Kentucky, because it is a dark history, and with some of the paranormal stuff, it's because of vengeful spirits, basically. And with that being said, Maysville was one of the oldest settlements because it was right there on the Ohio River, and it in the Civil War times it became an underground railroad place for slaves to escape to the north from the slave owners and the oppressors. Like I said, it's a very dark history, and it's one that's not being taken light of, or it's a serious conversation. So with that being said, we're gonna get deeper into my paranormal experience. There is other factors of why Maysville is a haunted town. I used to grow up like walking around at night, and I'd walk from my dad's to the skating rink, and it was a close distance.
Yeah.
And I'd get this overwhelming feeling that somebody's consistently watching over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. But one of the biggest stories and one of the biggest unknown stories, everybody has their reason on why it closed down. But there's a hospital there. The original hospital was called Hazelwood Hospital.
Yeah, I remember.
And my brother, which I actually wish he wasn't working right now, I'd have him call in so he can confirm this story. But my brother, he was actually one of the last babies that was born in that hospital.
Okay.
And then it was closed down for asbestos, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing the quotation marks because there's so many running stories on why this hospital closed down. Like there was one that was said that there was a doctor doing satanic rituals in the woods behind it, and just there was like, besides Waverly, which is the TV / the psychotic hospital in Louisville.
Yeah.
This is one that's really unknown to the public because you can't go into it like Waverly. You can. Like Waverly, they have overnight stays. They have like Halloween tours. This one, like it's so run down. It's actually dangerous to go into.
Yeah,
like the city actually condemned it now to be a federal criminal charge to go into if you get caught.
Enter at your own
Right.
risk.
Yeah.
type shit.
It's a felony to go in there?
Yeah. So, and actually, there, I don't know if y'all know the show Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
They actually tried to get a side of the waiver to go into there,
Yeah.
and they couldn't. So they actually ended up going to Phillips Folly, which is actually one of the. It's now a museum, but it used to be a slave house where they would actually catch people going to the north,
Yeah.
and they would capture them and then resell them for slavery. But this hospital is so dangerous that one wrong move, you can fall through all how many floors there are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just straight go through the straight bottom, go to the basement, and you're done for. So with that being said, me and my brother, we would go to this hospital.
Yeah. You found yourself inside.
We found ourselves inside. And it's just one of those things. Like we was always like, like Halloween has always been our favorite holiday. And spooky stuff. It always it's I don't know. It like ghost stories and all that. It just kind of it resonated with us. So, and this, like I said, this hospital, it just was one of those mysteries that was just like, we gotta check it out.
Yeah.
It's abandoned. Like it was like we gotta check it out.
Everybody's saying something. We got to go see.
Yeah. And then so we went in there one time, and that's when we noticed that something really, like, as far as it's saying, people saying it closed down for asbestos and that they built the new hospital, it just didn't really set right with us, because when we went in there, it looked like it just looked like people just dropped what they was doing and left.
Yeah.
Like they were gone. So, we was kind of like, well, let's explore a little bit, and we got, door maps and everything. We actually did our research on, where to go and what to do and, everything like that. And, so we went in there one time, and, what was it? It was a third floor we got down to. Because you could go in on this utility building, go into the window, and you'd be on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
Or you can go through the roof and and go down to the 5th floor. But we got down to the 3rd floor, and we were sitting there, and it was just it's the feeling of being watched, or the feeling of just like the uneasiness, just overwhelmed you. You know what I mean? Like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
We looked into this one room, and not to mention, sorry to mention this, but it was really the only hospital that actually had a room 666 to it.
Gotcha.
So, so we got down to the 3rd floor. We're sitting there, we're looking at all this stuff. We seen it. You see the incubators sitting there, just equipment, just everything, just abandoned. Right. We're looking in the hallway. My brother was in ROTC at the time, so we actually had one of those like L-shaped flashlights that you can hook to your pocket. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we were going through. And all of a sudden, like, Richard was like, he was like, shh, you hear that? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, shut up. And all of a sudden, we heard this creaking. Like, we couldn't tell where it was, because everything just echoed in that hospital. And, Richard turned behind him. I turned my back to Richard, and we're doing like a back-to-back face. And all of a sudden it kept getting louder and louder. And I look, and I tap Richard on the shoulder. I'm like, look at this. And all of a sudden we seen this hospital bed just come out of nowhere, just creaking down the hallway around the corner. And in my younger self, yes, I was adventurous. I wanted to check out everything. I'd been I'd been like the worst person in a horror film. Not like today. Today there would be no horror film. I'm not checking this shit out. I'm leaving. So, but me and Richard were just like, let's go check that out. See what's going on. We walk over to it. And it was it was a hospital bed, and it was like covered in blood. And it was like dry blood, like it was like
it had seen some shit.
Yeah, like that shit seen some shit. And so we were sitting there looking at it, and next thing you know, we just got this gust of like wind. I would say it was like a gust of presence, just like rushing over us. And we heard a loud, deep laugh. We was out. We was done. And then we kind of did a little bit more research, and it was like, let's check out. Let's see how far we can get down.
Yeah.
Before shit really goes south like that did.
Yeah.
And so we actually found our way. There was actually stories that you couldn't get down to the basement.
You got like sub levels and
yeah. So everybody's always trying to find the morgue because the morgue is like where the most shit goes down.
Yeah.
But our census was the only way to get down to the morgue was to go down elevator shaft, which we're not doing.
Yeah.
We're not doing that climb.
Fuck all that. Yeah.
We ain't doing that. So we're trying to find the safest way to get down to the morgue, and we get down there, and all of a sudden it just like you can like, and it was dead summer, like 95 degrees, but there, like it could be 95 degrees daytime, and all of a sudden like you're in pitch black, and you're just like you need like a hoodie or something.
Yeah.
Like it gets that cold. And so we get down there, and before this, me and Richard always decide like we're like if we do end up getting split up, we got a kind of like a signal on our flashlights that we'll do a sequence on our flashlights so we know that it's us. We have glow sticks and everything. We don't normally like to get split up just because it, you never want to get split up in a situation like that.
Yeah, that's bad business.
Right. So we get down to what we think is the basement. There was no way we can go any further because there was water that was blocking our way. So we already in like standing water as it is.
Yeah.
And so we get down there, and Richard has the bright idea. He was like, "Hey, you go down this hallway. I'll go down this hallway." I don't know. We might need to revise that, but he's my older brother, so I ride with it. And he was like, when we get down to the hallway, we'll flash our flashlights and, keep up with each other. Okay. So I'm walking down this hallway, and this hallway seems like it's forever. Like it just seems like it's continuously. And I get down, I stop in the middle of it because something didn't feel right. And I see a flashlight, and I see a glow stick like my brother has. So I start flashing my flashlight, and the light at the other end, it started flashing its flashlight, or it started flashing its light like my brother said he was going to do with his. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just, as I see this, I'm kind of backing up because I don't feel easy about this.
Yeah.
And as I'm backing up, I feel a hand on my shoulder. I turn around, and it's Richard.
Yeah.
I'm like, "I thought you was down that way." He was like, "No." He was like, I experienced something else, so I came back the way we came. And so and I was backing up as he was walking back to where we came from. And when we met up, that's when he grabbed my shoulder, and we the noise that I heard, the noise that we experienced with this, like I can't even describe it. It wasn't a scream, it wasn't a yell, it wasn't a laugh. It just like, you ever listen, like been around some huge speakers and you just heard like a deep bass?
Yeah.
And you felt that through your body?
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. Like it just was so deep. Like it just was like overwhelming to where we just said, "Fuck it, we're out."
Yeah.
We're done.
Negative energy.
we're done. So we go out. We didn't even go back in the way we came, the easy way that we came in. We went out the dangerous way of going through the roof, or going on top of the roof, running over the roof, over the gate, and we went up the woods that's behind it, and just ran up to where we can get to a safer ground.
Yeah.
That shit was wild. So, which brings me to my conclusion of my story, about how haunted this place is. There is a place called Eastport Cemetery, The theory is that if you go in the entrance way and come out the exit way, you get a haunted experience or whatever. So
Gotcha.
we did that. And this was, I was in 6th grade at the time. Richard was a junior. He graduated in 2000, so it was about late 90s.
Yeah.
I didn't really think of that this place would have this technology, especially it being an old church. It was an old church with a cemetery around it, and it looked like it could be like a Civil War type or like a settlement church.
Yeah.
And so we had a few friends. We all drove out there. And thing is if you go in the exit, then the lights in the church will light up.
Yeah.
Kind of like, it almost looked like motion sensors, but
Yeah.
most motion detection sensors would be outside instead of inside.
Mm-hmm.
So we was like, well, let's do it. So we went into the exit of the cemetery, and sure enough, the inside of the church, it lit up. And other people didn't think it was a big deal. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. I don't know, man, something just uneasy about it. We go around because the cemetery loops around the church.
Yeah.
And we get around to the back of the church. The car dies. This car didn't have no stalling problems at all. The car just dies. And we're just sitting there. They're talking about getting out. I'm not getting out.
Yeah.
The car just died. No, I'm not getting out. I'm not doing it. So I'm sitting there looking around, and I'm just kind of just like, y'all do what y'all gotta do. And I look off into the distance, and I see this black figure standing there, and it looked like it was kind of like it had like a cloak to it, like a cloak silhouette.
Yeah.
And I get this like overwhelming like fear, coldness, like it just wasn't right. It almost felt like death, basically.
Yeah.
And I just feel it staring at me, and I'm just like, I turn to my friend, I tap him on the shoulder, I'm like, look, I was like, do you see this, what I'm seeing right now? And I point off to the distance where I'm staring at, and they're just like, I don't see nothing. And I'm like, y'all don't see that? You don't feel that? And they're like, no. But it's just like something in my soul just didn't feel right with it. Like it just was like, it was wrong. This was the only time I've ever been out to that cemetery. First and last chance I've ever been to the cemetery, because one thing that I always felt, the one thing I always heard was, if you see death or the Grim Reaper, then your time is coming soon.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Luckily, I'm still here. But that's the feeling, that it was like the cold emptiness that I felt in my gut, that I got when I stared at this figure. And like it was too far to where you can actually like see, like you can look to the eyes of it, but I felt like I was staring in its eyes, and it was just like a cold, dark presence that just did not feel right.
Yeah, it's like dread.
Yeah, like it still, like I said, like those 3 stories right there still give me nightmares still to this day.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm gonna end it
That's
with.
real shit.
That's real though.
Now they demolished that hospital, didn't they?
No, it's still there. It's still there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're talking about demolishing it, but yeah, it's still there for now.
No, it's a really happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, y'all. Happy Halloween. And we out.
Peace.